You're live and recording.
I'll give me a warning. Morning, Sadie. How are you?
I'm very well, Simon. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. What a night it was last night as well. Did you enjoy it?
I loved it. It was a brilliant event. Really
enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. What was the best bit for you?
I think just the interaction with everyone in attendance. Pam was amazing. Liz was amazing. But it's just great to hear from everyone about what they're doing to manage their well-being at the moment, and just to have a chat about all the challenges we're facing and what people are doing to cope at the moment. And it was just a fantastic group of people, really happy to
I genuinely
speak
felt
up
as
and
if we
speak
had
out.
a night off.
I know.
Because people come back going, oh, yeah, I enjoyed that. There's breakout rooms, there was chat, there was people confiding in each other. It did feel like I've had a bit of a night. And when it finished, I thought it was about 10 o'clock, but it was 8 o'clock. It was 6 to 8. For anyone who's watching, we did a 2 hours on for Time to Talk yesterday. Around, well, you presented half an hour. You did a fantastic presentation on burnout. Loads of takeaways that went down really well. Liz Rotherham did a half an hour on mental health, believing in yourself, didn't she? What was energy management, talking out, really uplifting. And of course, Jules came on, didn't she? Jules from the Essex PA Network. She was fantastic. And Pam Warren, you know, main event, really.
What a legend.
Yeah, so Pam Warren was on the Paddington Rail disaster. She was critically injured in that and was reliving some of the moments. And then she came back with an analogy, didn't she, about life being basically a river. It doesn't matter whether you're fast moving or what was that word she said?
Burbling brook.
Burbling brook.
Burbling. I love the word burbling. It's an onomatopoeia, isn't it? It is, isn't it? When a word sounds like what it is. Yeah.
That's right. Whether you are, it still has that momentum to go forward. So it may, let me see, she'll tell me off, I don't remember it. So it may divide and go round certain objects, or it can go through a hill over time and create your own path. And what Pam, the takeaway for me for Pam was really that if something bad has happened in the past, something that you at the time thought was bad, it doesn't always have to be boxed as bad. Your present defines what was bad in your past, if that makes any sense. So obviously there was a horrific rail accident. She was walking through her injuries, but now when she looks at it, she actually said that train crash was the best thing that ever happened to her because of her perspective changed.
That's incredible though. And the fact that she shared that what it taught her was all that matters is humanity and love. And isn't that a huge lesson that everyone's been taking away from the pandemic as well, of what actually really matters? And the things that we missed right now is being with the people that we love, embracing our friends, the things that we so took for granted. And that's what I loved. One of the many things I loved about Pam and what she was talking about is that emphasis on what actually really matters. And yeah, it's just so empowering, so inspiring to think about when we do face these adversities and these challenges and huge life events. It's just about reframing it and thinking how you can carve a new path. I loved that, you know, and the fact that she was talking about, you know, that she started working in events management and, you know, realized, no, that's not working, and carved a new path again. And it's such a message about resilience, isn't it? To just, you know, plan A might not work, so we go with plan B, and plan B might really not work, so we go with plan C, but it's that notion along with the river that it keeps going to the delta. That's what I really, really loved. Really powerful. It was great.
Well, it's really powerful. And you know, Pam is a global speaker. She's been on massive stages and could charge, you know, anything she wants. She's that in demand. But last night she was wanting to talk to everyone else. She couldn't really. It was like a gathering of us, wasn't she? So I kept asking, as host, was asking her to, you know, bringing her back to talk more. And it was almost like Pam was there wanting to talk to others. And I forgot that she was a global speaker. Completely forgot, and forgot to even mention, you know, if anyone wants to book Power. But she didn't want to, did she either? She was happy to join in. It was terrific. One of the things that came out from our breakout rooms was accepted behaviour, and this is quite interesting. You know, when anxiety can be raised because you're working from home, you're in these there are no rules, as we said. There are new rules. Now, when someone knows that you're able to reply to an email, you're able to work, and because in before, in the olden days, you would be at home, you wouldn't be at work, all your work stuff would be in the office.
The olden days, yeah.
Yeah, you can work, but also they know where you are because it's a pandemic. You're not going out. So they know, so bosses can know that you're at home, you can do it. You almost have to come up with an excuse as an employee why you can't do it. And that gives you then the anxiety. The pressure seems to be on us. And we were talking about bosses being, and colleagues being empathetic to them, not to ask too much, weren't we?
Yeah, and I think we've got to be really mindful about setting those boundaries with people if they're not demonstrating empathy about our own personal situation, if they are pushing too hard, if their expectations aren't aligned with our reality. And, you know, you said there's no rules. Well, we need to create our own. And I often talk about, you know, what your non-negotiables are and being quite clear and quite firm and quite assertive in communicating those. And we really need to be doing that at the moment. Otherwise, you know, a lack of work-life balance is a huge contributor to developing burnout. I know I talked about a lot last night. So we need to be putting these measures in place, because otherwise there's no recovery time, and we're constantly switched on. We're constantly feeling compelled to respond to that email that pops up, and we just don't switch off. So yeah, it is a problem, but we need to be putting those boundaries in place.
But here's the thing, we say to people, just work when you feel like working. You know, if you're not a morning person now, get up a bit later, do your work later in the day to fit in with all the other pressures that you've got at home, homeschooling, parenting, everything else. But if you do shift, that you're going to do a night shift rather than the morning, and you're sending emails at 7, 8, 9 o'clock, how is that interpreted by the other persons? Is that interpreted naturally as I must get back to you now, or you know I can get back to it? I mean, there's almost we're telling people to work at your own pace, but then those emails can come in late at night.
It's just about communication again. You know, I've seen a lot of people put on their email footers that you may receive this email at certain times of the day, but don't feel inclined to reply straight away. I work certain hours to fit in with my own schedule. So it's just management expectation. A lot of the time I do say to managers that if they are working perhaps over the weekend, late at night, because of their own choices in relation to their own lifestyle, perhaps put a delay on sending that email so it doesn't arrive in the inbox of the staff member till a more reasonable working hour. So it's just about making sure that we're mindful of the message we're conveying. If we're working around the clock, you know, do we expect somebody else to reply? And just making sure that we're being really, really clear on that communication.
It's almost like you maybe less of those needless CCs when you're copying people in and they're not actually needed, but you're just trying to prove to someone that you're working or that you've seen it. I saw this lovely thing the other day about reasons people copy other people in, and it was rarely that they could do something with the information. It was more that they just want to be seen. Or absolutely. Look, we've got 1 minute left, 2 minutes left. What was your biggest takeaway? I mean, your presentation on burnout really hit home. I think it was something around lethargy as well, and people are running out of steam. You had 6 hours.
And I think what shocked a few people is the fact that if you work more than 40 hours a week, you're 4 times more likely to develop burnout, which I think a lot of people in the room sort of gasped at and thought, oh, yeah, that's definitely me. So it's just about starting to think about regaining that true sense of work-life balance and putting those boundaries in place to just switch off from things and knowing what you needed for your recovery time, thinking about what Liz was talking about, energy gains and making time for that. And as I said, it is a question of making time, not finding time. There's no surplus time for us to try and locate somewhere. We need to make it. And that's, for me, really, really crucial at the moment.
Yeah, and someone mentioned a snow globe again, didn't they? I have to start.
Who's that be?
Bloody snow globe.
Go on, give it a shake. You know you
want
to.
Well, pardon? Right, there you go. There's a snow globe. Sometimes put it down. You'll see everything making sense in the middle then. Sadie, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Simon. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, yes. We'll screech into the weekend on fumes again. Have a lovely day. I'm sure I'll see you later.
You will.
And failing that, I'll see you first thing on Monday.
See you later. Bye.